Time to talk about some sci-fi books that I have just got to read. What's up, beasties? It's me, it's Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. By the way, you're looking good, looking sharp. I hope you're having a fantastic day, because today is about to get even better, because we are going to talk about some of the sci-fi books and series that I have been dying to read, that I need to read. I've talked a lot about fantasy, urban fantasy, my top fantasy and urban fantasy books, my top books of all time, but I haven't focused solely on sci-fi yet. I've got 20 books here that I really want to share with you, that I really want to read. I have another stack of books off screen that are more lesser known, hidden gems that I want to read, that I'm going to share with you in an upcoming video. So look out for that. But for today, I'm going to talk about heavy hitters, ones you've probably heard of, but ones that I have not read and I really, really want to. Okay, so I love sci-fi. And always loved Star Wars. And then I loved Firefly. And then I've read some of the Firefly books. Love those. So I want to read more of those. I read the first two. But then I really have just fallen in love with sci-fi. Red Rising and Sun Eater series. Love both of them, two of my favorite series, and they've really just recaptured my love for sci-fi that I had as a kid. But there's so much sci-fi stuff that I really want to read and check out, and I'm excited to talk about them with you today, so let's get into it. Alright, so first up, I would really like to read the Silo series. I'm starting with Wool by Hugh Howey. I haven't watched the show yet because I really want to read the books. There's also a graphic novel in the first book that I kind of wanted to read, but I'd really like to sink my teeth into the book and then experience the show and the graphic novels. So this is one that I really want to read. Dystopian. I really love Fallout, and it just really, the idea gives me the same vibes as that. I know people said it's not the same kind of story, but post-apocalyptic, people living underground in these silos, and mysteries about the outside. So I really do want to check these out for sure. Then another one that I'm really excited to check out, Gene Wolfe. I think that I will, Book of the New Sun. I couldn't think of the name for a reason, but Book of the New Sun, like, I've heard that it's tough and all that, but it just sounds so fun. A torturer, and like from his point of view, very like deep, dense writing, and it just sounds really cool, and I do really want to check it out. I got this first omnibus of the first two books, and I want to get the rest, because that looks sweet. But I also am really excited to check this out. I mean, classic. And it's one that I definitely want to get under my belt. Sam Wise, supporter of the channel, who also has an awesome channel you should check out. He is really well versed in this series. Someone that I'm definitely going to reach out to when I start this bad boy. Alright, and then another author that I really want to read is Jeff Vandermeer. Yeah, I really want to check this out. This is a very cool edition of the Southern Reach trilogy omnibus. Actually, this was a sweet thrift find, but I really want to read that. I also have Born, which sounds really cool. Jimmy at Fantasy Network, he really loved that one, and got me really hyped on that. So yeah, I really want to read some Jeff Vandermeer. Gotta get to it, because this sounds like a lot of fun. And then probably the biggest one of all that I really need to read, because I love cyberpunk, is Neuromancer by William Gibson. This is the classic start of cyberpunk that is just, everybody talks about it. You have to read it, and it's not long, and I have actually read like the first few chapters at some point in my life and liked it, but I just never finished it. So I really need to read this one ASAP. It's been one on my list forever, and I love the there's a foreign cover that has like the headset and the goggles on him, and he's like smoking a cigarette, and it has such sweet artwork. but it's like a different language. You know, we don't have that one in the US or the UK, unfortunately. So someday I hope that they do make a US or UK edition with that cover because it's sweet. I'll put a picture up of it here or here if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited to check this one out. Definitely. Sticking with cyberpunk, the other one I'm really excited to check out is Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson. Definitely been wanting to read this one a long time too, and I got this beautiful anniversary edition with the end papers and just this awesome dust jacket. But this is another one I really wanted to check out for a long time. More cyberpunk stuff, and I really am excited to do so. All right, another one I'm excited to check out is I've never read any Octavia Butler, and I have 3 of her books, and they sound so amazing, and people just gush about how great they are. Another classic sci-fi story that just sounds incredible that I really, really want to check out. And again, you know, they're not super long reads, so it's like, what am I doing? I got to get on these. So definitely looking to start reading some Octavia Butler in the next year. Another author that I read last summer for the first time was John Scalzi. I read Red Shirts and loved it. It started off very funny and like kind of mocking Star Trek and stuff, but then it really ended up having like a lot of heart, and I love his writing style, so I would love to check out his Old Man's War series. I would love to check out his I have Starter Villain. I would love to check that out. Also his Kaiju Preservation Society. He's had a lot of ones that I want to check out, so definitely want to check out some John Scalzi. Loved Red Shirts. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should. And then I love Jay Kristoff. Love Empire of the Vampire and Empire of the Damned. They were amazing. And I got these at a thrift store too. It was a great find. But I got his Illuminae Files series that I really want to read. I need to read ASAP because they sound so fun. I mean, these covers are sweet too. Like, you take off the it's see-through, and then everything underneath is like documents and files looking email stuff, and you put these on and it just looks so cool. But just the concept of this, it tells the whole story through emails, messages, redacted files and documents, and it strings it all together to tell a coherent story, and that's just so cool to me. It sounds like such a fun experience. This is something that I think would be a lot of fun to do a buddy read with some other booktubers, so maybe that'll be something I look into down the road. But this sounds like a lot of fun. If anyone's read this, let me know what you thought. But yeah, there's 3 books and a novella now, I think, too. So I have the books, but not the novella. But this sounds really cool. Another popular one that I have this beautiful edition of and really want to read is Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. This 20th anniversary is so pretty. Look at this naked hardcover. Boom. Gorgeous. Love this edition. And I've wanted to read Cloud Atlas for years. It's just what, but I just get in my head and think, oh, it's going to be too difficult for me. But I got to give it a try because this book's beautiful and I've wanted to read David Mitchell forever and haven't. And I really want to check this out. So this one's going to be on the list ASAP. All right, a fun series that I really want to get into. I've had these books for a while, and I've wanted to read the series probably for 20 years. And I just, is that 20 years? Has to be, right? Yeah. Probably for 20 years, I've wanted to read this, and that is Deathstalker by Simon R. Green. I remember seeing this cover as a kid in like a Walden Books or something like that in the mall when my mom took me shopping, and I wanted to get it, but like it was a day where she was like, "Oh, you can't get a book today. I told you could just look," you know, when I was a middle schooler or whatever. And it's just when I saw these covers, because I saw the newer covers that kind of have more of like a punk. I don't even know how to explain it, but totally different vibe. More dark and grungy punk looking characters and clothing. Way different than this looks, but it's the same story, just different covers. But when I was looking online trying to find some, I saw this cover. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what Deathstalker was. I remember that. So I had to get them, and I'm super pumped to read them. Andrew at Andrew Wizardly Reads is reading them and really having a great time, and he's definitely giving me the FOMO as usual. So I got to start these ASAP. Once I knock some of the bigger stuff I'm working on out of the way, this is going to be high on the list. It's about Owen Deathstalker, and it's just a zany, funny thing. He has bad luck all the time, and he kind of gets framed for something, and he's on the run, and it just sounds like a really good time, a really good sci-fi romp. So definitely want to check this out ASAP. And then I read Altered Carbon a long time ago by Richard K. Morgan. He's also got a fantasy series I really want to read, I've talked about. But I read Altered Carbon and loved it. I loved the show. And there's 2 more books in the series. And actually, there's like a spin-off couple of books too. I would love to keep reading this series and continue it because I really enjoyed this. So Altered Carbon series. What's the name of the series? Probably, it's just Takeshi Kovacs probably. But anyway, just a cool world, just awesome, very cool. I would love to check that out and continue that series. And then a newer sci-fi series that I think sounds sweet that I haven't read but want to is Gideon the Ninth. I love these covers of all the books, and it just sounds like a fun time. Necromancers in space, like that's awesome. Gideon the Ninth is definitely one that I'm excited to read down the road. Another one that I missed that I'm excited to read. I read the first chapter of this in my book unhaul video where I read the first chapter of a bunch of books, and this was one I kept because it was fantastic. Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie. It focuses on a soldier, and I think they're like a droid, or something like that. I can't remember, but the first chapter was really good. And I'm really excited to read the series. I'm pumped. And Ann Leckie has another sci-fi series that I thought was pretty cool that I really want to read too. The first book was called Velocity Weapon. And I read some of that, and I really liked it, and got it from the library, read some of it, but then I had to return it and never finished it. But so there's actually a couple sci-fi series by Ann Leckie. She's a sci-fi author that I'm really excited to get into more eventually. And then another one, I love Firefly, and this one has gotten compared to it. Not sure how great the comparison is, but Becky Chambers' sci-fi books, Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I've heard mixed things. Some people loved it, some people were like, but I just want to check out and see what I think for myself. But it sounds like a lot of fun. Anything that can be somewhat compared to Firefly, I'm dying to check it out. So definitely want to check these out soon. Another author that gets mixed reviews, but I want to check out for myself, is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I have the trilogy, and I know there's the whole second person thing and some choices that she makes that people aren't so sure about, and I just want to experience for myself because some people love it, so I want to see what I think. The Broken Earth trilogy, this is one that I definitely want to read. All right, then a newer book that I got when it came out because I was excited, but I could never get it into the TBR, was The Djinbat of Shantyport by Sumit Basu. And this cover is sweet, by the way, first of all. But second, it's like cyberpunk sci-fi meets Aladdin. And even this little monkey guy here has glowing eyes like he's been modified somehow. But it just sounds really cool. And this is a newer one that I really want to check out once things open up on my TBR. Don't we all say that? And of course, I've been wanting to read these books forever. Mickey #7. There was the movie that was going to come out, and it got pushed back now. I've got the first 2 books in the series. I think there's a third on its way. And it just sounds like so much fun. This clone that's made, and then every time one dies they make a new one. So Mickey 7 goes out on this mission. They think he died, but he didn't. He comes back not knowing that they think he's dead, and he runs into Mickey 8. So he takes him out because he doesn't want to die, and then he's pretending that he's this other clone, and that sounds awesome. And they're short books, so I definitely want to check these out because they sound really cool. All right, we're into the last few, but before I talk about them, I do want to talk about a couple authors that I really want to read, sci-fi wise, that I do not have the books. I do have one of these digitally, but anyway, the first one is Kurt Vonnegut. I really want to read Kurt Vonnegut. Slaughterhouse-Five I've wanted to read for years and years, and just all of his books to check them out. So that is something I'm planning on reading very soon. Probably Slaughterhouse-Five first, and then dive into his catalog after that. Just sounds awesome, and he's a staple in sci-fi. So I really want to read some of his stuff. And the other one is Three Body Problem. I really want to read those. I think I have all of them actually on ebook. So I will eventually be able to read them on that. And I'm on the wait list, but I'm not in the sci-fi subscription for Broken Binding. They're going to do some awesome editions for that sci-fi subscription, so that's a bummer. But the regular covers are gorgeous, so I will probably get those eventually. But I'll probably read on ebook because, again, there's always mixed things. You never know where you're going to land, but enough people that I know that have similar taste to mine have loved it that I think I will too. So I haven't watched the show, but I do want to read the books, so another one that I'm excited to read. So, all right, let's get into these beauties right here. So I have read The Martian by Andy Weir, and I loved it. So I want to read Project Hail Mary and Artemis. I know that one gets some mixed reviews, but I do want to check that one out. But Project Hail Mary for sure I want to read. I love The Martian. It was an awesome book. So I really want to read this one as well. And then I read Dark Matter, and I loved it. Really want to watch the show because I love the book so much, but I haven't watched the show because I don't have Apple TV. I need to get it because there's a lot of good shows on there that I'm missing out on. But I want to read his other books. I've got them all, Upgrade and Recursion, and then whatever else he comes out with, because I love Dark Matter. So I definitely want to read these. I think Recursion first, and then Upgrade's the newer one. So Recursion, then Upgrade. And I love his writing style. Quick, fast pace, and they're shorter. So can't wait to read these. I also want to read his Pines series and some of his older stuff, but definitely I want to get into those ASAP. All right, I read Dune a long time ago. Loved it when I was younger. And then I loved the new movies so much. So I'm excited to continue on. I never read the other books. So I have the first three. So I definitely want to read both of these gorgeous editions. And then continue on from there as far as I should. Because I know later on people don't like some of the newer ones that continue after Frank Herbert passed away. But I definitely want to read these two to get the first trilogy and then go from there. So definitely want to read those. Love Dune. And then my biggest sci-fi series and book that I want to get to, the one that I need to most of all, is The Expanse. I've got these beautiful special editions that are just gorgeous, and I really, really want to read the series. It is like my number one thing to get to as soon as I get through Stormlight Archive and Sun Eater. This is going to be the one that I go after like right away as soon as I can. And maybe as soon as I get on Sun Eater, I'll probably start sprinkling these in because I'm excited to read them. I remember a long time ago when Leviathan Wakes came out, I heard great things about it, and I got it from the library and read some of it and loved it, and I thought it was so cool, but I just never finished it, never went back to it. And then I was going to watch the show, but I'm like, oh no, I want to wait and read the books. So now I've never watched the show, never read the books, and I'm behind. So watch for this. This is definitely getting on my TV in 2025, and I cannot wait. I'm excited. All right, and there we go. Those were some sci-fi books and series that I am pumped to read, that I need to get to, that I really am excited about. Like I said, I will have another video coming out soon with a bunch of sci-fi books that I have that are maybe not as well known that I'm still really excited to, and I want to share with you and see what if you guys have read them and get you pumped for those. So look for that one coming up later this week. And please let me know if you've read any of these, which ones you recommend, which ones maybe you don't. Also, let me know some that I missed, and maybe they're in my other video that's coming up. But also let me know about some self-pub sci-fi that's really good. That's what's so fun about the book community now, is there's so much good self-pub stuff out there. And I know I have a lot of self-pub fantasy on my radar, but yeah, I haven't heard a lot about self-pub sci-fi stuff. I mean, a little bit. Obviously, I just read Falling into Oblivion and loved that. I'm working my way through the Hybrid Helix series by J.C. and Byrne. I love those books. But I would love to hear about some more self-pub sci-fi that's out there, because I love me some self-pub stuff. So I would appreciate the recommendations in the comments. Speaking of comments, please leave a comment. Let me know about the things I said already or anything else, or just say hi, because I love comments. I respond to them all, and I love to interact with you guys, so please leave me a comment. And the other thing I want to say is, if you have been watching my videos before, or if this is your first time and you had a good time, you enjoyed hearing me talk about books, then if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, but it also means that you and me could be beasties. We could be beast friends. You could become a member of the Beasties. I do a question of the day poll, community poll, just for my beasties every day. And then you can vote on it all day, and then in the evening I release a short where I talk about what I would choose, reveal the winner that you guys chose, and have a fun time. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, and knowing when any video from me comes out, please subscribe. I would love to have you. But that's all I got for you guys. So until I see you in the next one, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see ya.